guys, it's Lisa, and I actually made this video this morning, but sadly, I won't go into the tech details, but I had the sound turned off. So it was useless. So I'm gonna make it again now, but it's about basically making a pancake, turning your fueling options into a pancake. I mention it all the time. You guys are probably sick of me saying it, but I also have people kind of wonder what that looks like, or maybe think that that is like getting super creative with your fueling options and like outside of your scope of detail or your abilities, and it's not. So I just figured, hey, I'll just walk you through what I do and how it takes me now about 2 or 3 minutes, and that means it can fit in pretty much anywhere I want it to. Today I'm going to use, or right now I'm going to use the mashed potatoes. So I make a mashed potato pancake frequently, and then I either eat it plain or I use it as kind of like a base for like splitting up my lean and green. I might put some lean protein and wrap it up in it, that type of thing, okay? This morning, when I made this video, I did it with my Optavia oatmeal. The maple and brown sugar oatmeal was super good, just was on mute. And I eat that as a pancake almost all the time. I fit it in so quickly. I basically can do it as quick as getting anything going on in the morning, getting lunch boxes ready, packing up your work bag, whatever. It's a couple minutes. Some other options that I do it with is the Optavia cheddar herb biscuit. Sometimes I eat this as a biscuit, but most of the time I eat it as a pancake, and then that pancake becomes like the base for like maybe a pizza or like a wrap or something like that for myself, okay? Once again, adding lean protein to it so I can split up my lean and green in the day, and then I subtract that lean from just later on in the night. Another way of you doing this is with the hot cereals, the Optavia Select hot cereals. A lot of people love these as is. I'm more a fan of them in a pancake form, big surprise, a pancake form versus in the hot cereal method. It's just me. Okay, so I'm sure there's others that are available. Okay, so let's get started. I just want to show you what this looks like so that you can know it's pretty simple. First and foremost, I use a coffee mug, usually because it's just easy to mix it up in that coffee mug. It doesn't spill all over the place, but also because I then end up using that already dirty coffee mug, and I usually make my coffee, especially in the morning. So I pour in this case, my smashed potatoes. I really like the sour cream and chive ones, but I like them both. I usually now eyeball the water, but you may not want to in the beginning. That's totally understandable. So grab about a 1/4 cup, a little less than a 1/4 cup to get started. Like I said, now I just kind of eyeball it, but I'll do it the official way. As I'm stirring this, I turn on my pan. Doesn't need to be like hot. Let me get my spatula out of there. Doesn't need to be hot, but okay, so you can see, I'm gonna be weird and show you, like that is not pouring into anything, right? It's more of like, well, I don't know what it's more like a paste or something like that. Now I did get out my, my egg whites. So I use egg whites. This isn't to add any sort of protein or nutrition or anything like that to your fueling option. It's just basically to help it stick together. So this I do measure 2 tablespoons. And it's like I said, that's just enough to get it to where it'll stick together in the pan and become like a pancake. Sorry for the stirring. Should have used a plastic spoon, but I don't do that. Okay, so I noticed that is still just a little bit thick. That is not gonna pour out as a pancake. So I add just a little bit of water. A little bit goes a long way. You can always add more. You cannot take it out. So I might add it a little bit at a time. By the way, I mess up all the time. I make it too thin. I cook it anyway. It does it just fine. Okay, so this is a little thick, but I'm just gonna run with it for speed. Let's see here if I'll bring this a little bit closer. Boom, 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 sorry. So that we can kind of start looking at the pan and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so pan is hot. It's just a nonstick pan. Notice I didn't put anything in it. Okay, now this is a thicker batter, I would call it, a thicker substance. But I can, if I want to, just make it look bigger because I feel happier. Then I can just kind of spread it out like that if I wanted to, okay? The key to making a good pancake is 2 things for me. One, I like my spatula. So my spatula is a flexible spatula. Yes, I've washed my hands so I can touch it. But it's a flexible spatula. I wouldn't want to do this with a super firm spatula, especially if my pan was smaller and all that kind of stuff. The other key is just letting it sit there long enough. right? Don't try to flip it too soon. This is honestly with any pancake, even when you're making your kids pancakes or something like that. Okay, so meanwhile, that's cooking. This is when I do other stuff. In the morning, this is when I grab my coffee cup, I rinse it out, and then I go make my coffee, and I kind of do that while this is cooking. So it's not wasted time, right? Or this might be where I grab, my daughter's lunch, put the ice pack in it, and just kind of check to see, like, is her backpack ready? Or whatever the case may be, you're good. Just don't get too distracted because you do have something cooking on the stove. Okay, now you can see, okay, there's my pancake, and I'm just gonna show you what I do to check it out. I take this little flexible spatula, and it's hard to describe it, but I can feel it sticking a little bit. I'm having to fight a little bit to get underneath there. It means it's just not quite done yet. Like, I could do it, by the way. I've been doing this long enough that I could flip that if I want to. But the key is just letting it cook enough, okay? So now if I go and I'm sliding it under there, okay? And I just make sure, now you can see it's sliding around my pan, right? Remember, I didn't put anything in this pan. There's nothing, it's just a nonstick pan. Okay, now that's ready to flip. So I get my spatula under there and I flip that, okay? Now here's the key. It's almost all cooked. I mean, we're almost all done. I actually usually turn the oven off at that point because this is when I go do something else again while I let that finish cooking, and I need it to not, if I forget about it, I need it to not burn and cause a fire hazard, right? So I turn it off. The heat in the pan is still gonna cook it. This is where I'll tell you one little trick, and I hate to double whammy a video, but something in the fall here, everybody is talking about pumpkin bread and pumpkin this and pumpkin whatever. Well, this is a gargantuan can of it, so I wouldn't necessarily buy this big of a can, but I will sometimes use a tablespoon of this puree. Once again, talk to your coach about what that means. Does it add anything? Is it a condiment? Is it whatever? But a tablespoon of this puree, and I'll put it in, my batter, and maybe even I have like cinnamon here. I might put a little bit of cinnamon in that, or a little bit of nutmeg, or a little bit of something like that. And put that in there, and now I've made myself a pumpkin pancake. I do that more, I'm not gonna lie, I do that more with the Optavia oatmeal, maybe even the apple oatmeal, the maple brown sugar oatmeal. I do it more with that than I can't remember if I've ever done it with the mashed potatoes. I don't think I have. So anyway, remember, I just went to go check to make sure my daughter brushed her teeth, and I went to go put my shoes on and all those things. And meanwhile, my pancake kept cooking while I was here. So you can kind of see what it looks like. If I'd left it there longer, it'd be a little bit firmer, but no big deal because I turned the pan off. So there, now I can put it, I can grab, remember, this is mashed potatoes, right? Mashed potatoes in my hand. Put it on my plate, and now this is how I normally eat it. Just if I'm being super quick, like today, this is how I'm gonna eat it. I will say that if you know what your healthy lean is gonna be tonight, this is something that I use. I will add a teaspoon. This is where I definitely measure because I love butter, and I could eat that whole tub if I wasn't careful. So I do a teaspoon of butter on it, okay? I'm not gonna wipe my finger on that, sorry. A teaspoon of butter on that, and that is good enough for the whole mashed potato pancake. Talk to your coach about whether or not you want to do that, okay? Whether or not how healthy fats fit into your world and into your health program, okay? So that's how I eat it with the oatmeal, the pancake in the morning. Same thing, I might use butter, no butter, has flavor in it all on its own. I don't use syrup right now, but if you are interested in sugar-free syrup, please talk to your coach about how that fits in. And that's it. Sometimes I make this a little bit bigger, a little bit thinner, so it's a little bit more of a wrap, and I wrap up maybe some chicken from the night before and something like that, and I make myself a chicken wrap. And once again, that's splitting up your lean and green, and I don't want to delve too far into that in this video. This was just basically showing you how simple and easy it is to make a pancake. My dishes are minimal. My coffee cup would be used for my coffee if I was doing this for real. And I'm on my way. And it's a little bit more than a bar, a little bit more effort than just grabbing a bar, but way less than, what you would expect if you're gonna get to sit down and have like a nice little fueling treat. All right, talk to you later. Bye.